Hello, everybody, and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. How is everyone doing this evening? Happy and blessed Monday. Welcome to the first week of the season of Lent, and welcome back to OMB Reviews, where it is the 545th episode of the Welcome to Asgard podcast. A lot has happened over the last week. I would start off by saying a huge thank you to everyone who supported the Raven Awards last week. It was amazing. Really, really cool to see all the people who voted, the people who were participating in the chat that night as well. It was a ton of fun, and we were able to announce some very, very cool winners, the best of the year, the worst of the year, and of course, if you want any information on what won which category, the full list of nominations and winners is posted over on the website, ombreviews.com. But unfortunately, I was feeling sick. Still not 100% recovered, but feeling so much better than I was last weekend. Obviously, voice even better as well. But let's just say it has been a bit of a doozy. Right now, it's basically in my lungs. But because I had to finish things a bit early last weekend, I was not able to announce the winners of the Ravens Bowling. So it's when people are able to predict what they think are going to win at the Raven Awards, and depending on how much value, how much confidence they have in their choice, determines essentially a points value system, which out of a perfect score of 300, a la bowling, you are able to potentially win some giveaway options. So some 4Ks and some Blu-rays, etc. And so we'll talk about what those prizes are, because we're going to announce the prizes and the winners, and hopefully those that put forward their names and put forth their guesses in the competition are here tonight. I might give another few minutes for people just to start to be able to roll in. We'll announce the prizes, and then after a few minutes, we will start to announce who had the best score, the second best score, the third best score. And I believe I was able to get it to be where it's the top 4 people, because after that, it ends up not being all that close. So we will announce those winners tonight very early on. I won't make anyone wait until the end of the show to know whether one has won or not. But yeah, obviously do want to give some time for people to come in, because the way it's going to work is that if you are one of those winners, you have to be in the chat and have to claim your prize if you want to have first dibs on the prize pool. If you are not here and I give you the typical going once, going twice, then we will know that someone else, the next person in line, the number 2, 3, 4 spot, is going to be able instead to choose their prize out of what is available. And don't worry, if you are a winner, you will still win. That's part of the thing. I obviously want the winners to still be able to win those prizes. But as far as what you get and when you get it, that is going to be dependent upon whether you are here in the stream or not. All right, so smash that like button, lave that fire button over on Odyssey, smash the rumble button as well if we are live over on X and you can see us over there. Thank y'all for watching over on Twitter/X over on the Twix. And before getting into the chats, let me just go ahead and announce what the prizes will be. All right, and so, of course, it would not be appropriate for the Ravens unless there was some type of PowerPoint system in play. And so, boom, put this thing up and together right before the stream started. And so, here are the prizes. It's also an easier way for me to pull these up on the screen and hope that I'm able to, make it so I don't have to continue to repeat myself about what's available, what's not available, and all that good stuff. But let's start off with the prizes first. And so this is the pool of prizes, and I tried to make them good ones, right? The 4Ks and steelbooks that I had available to me. Some of them somewhat newer as far as when the specific editions of these films came out, but all of them, I think, great in their own way. And so let's just go ahead and talk about the prizes. And so the first prize that will be up for grabs, and again, these are just a pool of prizes all together. So whoever our first place winner is can choose any of the films here. Once that film has been claimed, it's off the table, and then the second place person will get the next choice, and so on and so forth. If, let's say, the first place person, though, is not here, then that means that the second place person will get the first dibs, and we'll go, of course, go on through there. And so here are the prizes for the Raven Awards this year for the Ravens bowling picks and prizes this year. So for those that are our winners this year, the awards will be chosen from the 7 4K Steelbook. Very, very nice release. Dazed and Confused 4K, the Criterion Collection Edition, a very beautiful case, a very well done, well packaged product, the 4K Criterion Collection film. The Rocky Balboa 4K Steelbook as well. So shout out to that phenomenally underrated film. This Steelbook also, for those interested, features, as it says here on the box, both a theatrical and director's cut in 4K. So for any Rocky fans out there, that is available. We also have The Forbidden Kingdom on 4K Steelbook. This one just recently was released. This is actually a very beautifully done Steelbook. Lionsgate is notorious for it. It's got a slipcover, which is really, really cool. And it's one of those, plastic slipcovers that comes off, but has like pictures and art on it too. So anyway, that is, I think, a really good release. And then we have Constantine on 4K Ultra Steelbook, and we have 2 copies of Constantine on 4K Steelbook. That one had just been released over the last few weeks, and the cover is really, really, really cool. A bit of like a 3D printing. I don't know if it's called embossing or debossing or whatever it might be, but kind of like a textured feel to it. I was hoping that this dude would be in the chat, so shout out to Geek364. This guy knows a lot about physical media here, saying, I love that Forbidden Kingdom Steelbook and a fun movie. It is. It really is underrated, I think, in many ways, and it is a ton of fun as well. So anyway, those are the prizes that are going to be up for grabs for the winners tonight, and we'll announce the winners in just a little bit. But let's dive into the chat. Let's say hello to some people, see how y'all have been doing the past week or so. We had Snortapoopus Cuber saying, "Hello, humans and other quitters. What's going on, Snortapoopus? Thanks for being here." We got Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington. What's up, Gary? Thanks for still being awake. Sorry, dude. I can't tell people whether they've won or not. It wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair. Wendy Hunter saying, Odin and chat. Hello, Wendy. Wendy, welcome back. We got Bruce hanging out in the chat as well. What is going on, Bruce? Appreciate you very much. Jeremy Zakowski, evening, Odin. Everyone, good evening to you. Thank you for being here. By the way, I did post a nominations link in the chat earlier to start getting in early nominations, but already, whoever it is who continues to try to troll the channel is probably, it seems at least, obsessed with me. It's kind of sad. It's kind of depressing, but I had to turn it off for a time because he's got some system going so that it's just nominating the same thing over and over and over again, and it's really annoying. So that will be open at some point, and I'm really hoping to find a better vote tallying system that has some of the same functionality, especially integration into Google Sheets or Excel in some way, but is also able to stop people from doing the really crappy troll nonsense, because it ain't fun. Jimmy A, hail to you. Thanks for being here. We got the man with the orange hat. Behave, I am here, not wanting any misbehavior. Odin, good to see you. Seems like Snow White's projections dropped again, now to 53 million. Opening weekend was originally 67 to 70. It is not looking good at all. This is absolutely true, and it is going to be interesting to see where that film ultimately ends up. You're going to have the mainstream shill media continue to be able to, try to spin the narrative for them, try to act as if somehow this is a good thing. They'll try to compare it to some, more modern films, I guess, or they'll try at the very least to say, oh, it's the number one movie of the weekend, It left all of the other ones in the dust, even though after the release of Mickey 17, there isn't a major release until the release of Snow White. So it's going to be a pretty slow box office weekend, likely, this coming weekend, let alone when the Snow White film gets released, when it is expected to do, as you just mentioned, abysmally awful. So yeah, it's not going to be good. It is not going to be good. Carl Jacobs saying, had lunch with my in-laws last week. Pizza with half pepperoni and sausage and half Canadian bacon and pineapple. I thought, what a great analogy for syncretism. Yep, and it doesn't work. It does not work. Excuse me. I do apologize. I'm still dealing with a cough, unfortunately. Gary Banjo Sandwich saying, just figuring out the bowling was rocket science for me. I don't know why. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's definitely not easy because you actually have to be like, oh, I need to put these letters here and that is equaling that. But the actual process by which the score is tallied is absolutely straightforward, I think. Rob D, hello, Odin. I watched movies this weekend. I watched Juror Number 2, The Wrong Man with Henry Fonda, and Knox Goes Away with Michael Keaton. I thought all three were good. Nice. Juror Number 2, I thought was actually a pretty well done movie. Nothing to write home about, right? Nothing crazy, but still good. I had not seen The Wrong Man with Henry Fonda. I do love Henry Fonda as an actor, though. And then never heard of Knox Goes Away. JKBX76, excited for those Ravens. Kimberly G, howdy to Odin, the mods in the chat. Kimberly G, Killian, Shadow Cat, what's going on? Kimberly G, welcome. We got Thanatos Felicitas hanging out as well. Hail to you. Wendy Hunter, I finally watched The Wild Robot, and it was awesome. I was crying and laughing, had all the feels. Yes, Wendy. I thought that it might be a movie that you would enjoy because, yeah, it's one of those films where, especially if you have, like, a heart and you are able to really just be drawn in by cinema, especially by more emotional storytelling, it really does a great job. I mean, you are just able to connect with those animals and those characters to such a level, to such a degree that all, especially parents or those that have young nieces and nephews or things like that, you're able to connect in those ways. There's universal messaging in the movie, and I think that's why it's, I think, easily one of the best films to come out last year. Especially one of the best animated films, though I'm definitely on that fence between it and Flow, because whereas the better story, I think, is absolutely going to be given to, almost by default, to The Wild Robot, because the movie Flow has no dialogue and it's all animated, and though I think the storytelling is still visually stunning and very effective, I don't think it's nearly as, as on point as the others. Let's see. Forever Sci-Fi, hail to you. Gary Bandersand with Warden saying 4 winners. Yes, indeed. Really, it's a first, second, third, fourth situation. So 4 people who will win prizes. But there, of course, is only the one person who had the highest overall score after all of the numbers were officially tallied. King and Rumsky, when are you going to power through your itty-bitty cold like a man? Dang, King Rumsky. I don't know what's going on. This is the longest I've ever been sick. I typically never get sick in general, let alone have a lingering illness like this. We got Haas saying, hail chat, hail to you. Let's see. Bruce BWB, first time on Rumble with OMB. Boom, Bruce. Welcome. Welcome to the Rumble fam. Okay. Haas says, safe Odin. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. Okay, let me get back into the chat over here. So that way I don't have to have multiple windows up at the same time. All right, Forever Sci-Fi, who's a member, saying, I just picked up those Forbidden Kingdom and Constantine Steelbooks along with the Zaz collection of 4K. Very nice. Hardwick, what are your thoughts on Constantine from a theological standpoint? Obviously it's not perfect. I just want to put it out there that it's not a Catholic theologically consistent type of storytelling. That being said, I do think the general atmosphere of angels influencing humans, demons influencing humans, and it's like you either got one or the other pulling you in one direction or the other, I think is actually more so accurate. And I really like the way that they convey how angels and demons interact with our world. Again, there's a lot of stuff in there, though, that is clearly just Hollywoodized and just what you would find typically in a comic book, fictional telling, trying to take these really cool, really, really powerful religious symbols and turning them into something a bit more. And so, yeah, I think that theologically, though there are problems with it, I think that there's a lot of really good in there. In fact, I would say it's a great way of kind of understanding the influence that the angelic and the demonic can have on the human person. Rob D, the last place winner should get a 4K copy of Borderlands, The Crow 2024, or Joker 2. If I had those, maybe. Justin C, hope you had a great time with the family over last week. Too bad Mickey 17 was a disappointing film. I know. I was really hoping it would be good. I was looking forward to it, but yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Critical Drinker just put out a great review about the film, and, you know, having not seen it myself, he makes it a very convincing argument to why I don't think I do want to spend any amount of time, on that movie. King and Remsky, could the troll on your Ravens document be Tony from Deadline? It very well could be, but that would require, I think, some type of technical expertise that I don't know necessarily he has the mental capacity for. Wendy Hunter saying, glad you're feeling better, praying for continued healing. I appreciate that. The Morak saying, Odin, Hale, and chat, what's going on? Jimmy A, don't know if anyone on here knows this, but consider Sean Chandler for Shill of the Year. He used to be cool, but now he's Access Media and brags about the celebrities he's met. I mean, I don't know Sean Chandler personally. I think we might have had him on Salty Saturdays once or twice, so I'm not going to speak poorly against him, especially since I don't know him all that well. But you can nominate whoever you want for things like that. If you feel like he used to be more authentic, and now that he has more access, it seems like he is not being as forthcoming or as honest. We saw Chris Stuckman, for instance, go through this. That is absolutely a case that we can call just, straight up and down. Yep, no, he's a complete and utter shill now. He sold his soul, talking here about Stuckman, sold his soul just to try to make more people in Hollywood happy so that he can get his movie made. A movie that, to my knowledge, has not even seen the light of day, has not gotten a lot of distribution, or hasn't gotten picked up, or I don't know where that film is right now. I lost interest in that a long time ago. So I can't speak for Sean Chandler, but obviously you can nominate whoever you wish. Let's see. Let's see. Bruce over on Rumble. I don't know why you posted twice on Rumble and on YouTube. Don't do that. Don't double post. Says, I still haven't popped my copy in the player this week for sure for The Wild Robot. Yeah, seriously, man. It is a good one. Safe equals hello. Interesting. Remember, Sci-Fi Constantine has aged better than expected. Agreed. I have not seen it in a long time, but I want to, especially I just got my own copy of the 4K Steelbook. Let's see. Hardwick saying, what do you think of Mark Ruffalo's statement that in retrospect he feels that he underplayed his character because 17? And honestly, it just seems like he's doubling down. I mean, that's just kind of what he does, is he always tries to make things worse for himself than he has really any sensibility to do. Anything that can make things worse, he'll probably end up doing because he'll open up his silly mouth. The bigger issue, I think, is, and this is where, again, Critical Drinker kind of called this out too, is that he's gotten stuck in this rut of performances where he's just given the same performance in every single movie that he does. And I'm not saying that he was ever a fully dynamic actor before this time, but it definitely seems like he's becoming much more one note. And it's been hilarious to see some so-called critics online, especially on X, especially NPC of the year caliber persons like John Roca, I don't even care, who's just been spouting off about how amazing Mickey 17 is because it owns like the Trumpies and stuff. Like, the dude has full-blown TDS. He needs help. His ego is so brittle that he has to go after every individual response, every individual person. It's a bit sad and a bit crazy. But it all stems just from a clear case of TDS. So as far as Mark Ruffalo, though, it's like, don't even care. Don't even care. Let's see. Icthulu saying here, wish you all a well today and happy Monday. You too as well, Icthulu. Michael Brigette saying, hey, Odin, I got a ticket of the 4th anniversary screening of Vampire Hunter D. Classic anime. Also saw today Princess Mononoke is coming back to theaters in IMAX March 26th. Ah, yes. The Studio Ghibli festival continues on through IMAX and through special showings. Really hoping to catch another one of those one day when we are able to find time for a babysitter, that kind of thing. Bruce, sorry for the double post. I thought I posted on YouTube and it didn't appear, so I reposted it. You just got to be patient, Bruce. Got to be patient, man. I think I'll just go back on stream. There you go. All right, Victor Fontaine hanging out over on the Green Machine. Jimmy A. Make 17. More like 17 reasons to not watch the movie. That's what it's sounding like. King Rumsky saying, holy cow, it's a party in here tonight. Seriously, you got like at least a few people over there. That's pretty impressive. Hardwick, have you seen Robert Rodriguez's announcement of this fan-funded studio? He's made independent action movies with fans as investors. The lowest investment tier starts at $250. I mean, good for him. If it's a way for him to be able to justify making his own more independent level movies, I mean, more movies, I guess, is a good thing. If it's able to also bring other people's into the discussions that allow for, people to now to become new levels of producers that had never previously been in the space or something like that. Okay, that's very cool. Happy that is going to be the case. I have no real interest in it because I just don't trust people like that. I feel like it's a kind of like not intentionally a Ponzi scheme, but I feel like it's just an easy way for him to get a lot of people to donate their money to get movies made that otherwise he would not have any success getting made because he is kind of in and out of the studio system in various ways. So again, not going to speak badly to him. I'm just saying I tend to not trust that kind of thing just in a general thing, more so out of principle than anything else. Man, this cough. Don't know how long I'll be able to go on stream tonight, but we'll do what we can. Okay, so I've given almost about half an hour for people to start rolling in. So if you are here now, again, smash that like button, live that fire button over in Aussie, smash that rumble button as well. And we'll just get started off by taking care of some business from last week. So, again, we had our Raven Awards last week. It was a ton of fun. We had some great winners. Nosferatu winning our Best Picture, getting the #1 spot, the highest rating of all nominees. We also went through all of the different levels that the other films that were nominated got. But we also had Ravens Bowling. And so just as a general refresher, the way Ravens Bowling works is there were 24 categories. And if you wanted to predict what you thought was going to win at the Ravens this year, you would put the most confident choice at your number 24 spot, because that means 24 points. And if you were then to, whatever spot, movie, whatever category you've put up there, get that one right, then that means you get those 24 points. You bank those 24 points that you've been put forward up there. Now you put it back in order, right? 24, 23, 22, all the way down. So your most confident is 24, which is worth 24 points, and your least confident is at the #1 spot, which is worth 1 point. Okay, pretty straightforward, I think. So there were about 13 people who put forward their own predictions, their own forms. And without further ado, here are our winners. Now, the way that this will work, okay, is that what we need to do is we need to be very clear in the chat, if you are one of the persons here, that you will be able to speak in some way, that you will be able to say, I am here and I claim X prize, whatever it might be. I'll put up the options of what's available after all of the winners have been chosen. But just to make sure we know, it is going to be in order of preference, in order of the winners, right, based off of who had the highest score, second highest score, etc. And after about a minute or two of our top winner getting to have a choice, getting to be able to choose his options or her options, then we will open it up to the people at the lower. So we're going to announce all of the winners, right, our first, second, third, and fourth place spots, and then I'll put the options back up on the board, and then I will see, okay, are any of them in the chat? Is the #1 in the chat? Let's give them a minute. Okay, no response yet. All right, #2, are you in the chat? Now you go ahead and give one. Okay, no. Now let's give the #3, and so on and so forth until we get winners. If some of the people that had the #1, #2 spot come back in later on, hey, that's fine. Just know that some of those options from before might have been taken. All right, so hopefully all of that is making some sense. But if not, hey, this is all I can do, because crazy things have happened. So let's get to it. These are our Raven Bowling Award winners, the people who had the best guesses at the Ravens and chose their categories just right. So again, I'll explain what the winners have to do after we've announced them all, okay? And I'll put the options back up on the board for these winners too. Okay, so first off, the overall winner with the highest score for Ravens Bowling in 2024, or at least for films released in 2024, so I guess I'll just go on and say in 2025, and these are based off of emails. I did not put the whole email address because I'm obviously not wanting to dox anybody, but I also didn't have full names or code names for everybody, and so I tried to figure it out when I could. But our first place winner was... Ooh, I'm in the wrong space. All right, our first place winner was The Pope Has. So the person with the email with The Pope Has, who scored a 201 out of 300. Our number 2 winner, Kairos Nor, was in their email. They scored a 199 out of 300. So very close there between the number 1 and 2. Number 3 went to One Peppa, and they scored a 183 out of 300. And then the number 4 spot was someone who's been in the chat, someone who is here, especially on giveaway days, but did indeed put forward one very, very good selection of nominations. And so the number 4 winner is Hardwick, Mr. Hardwick Bethos. So again, Hardwick, 181 out of 300. So again, our winners are The Pope Has, Kairos Nor, One Peppa, and Hardwick. Those are our winners. And so now that the winners are there, so if you are one of those winners, you now know that you are a winner, okay? And so I think I saw in the chat, and again, you don't have to post it multiple times. Looking at you, Master of Gaming, I got you the first time, okay? Calm down. We're not giving away anything yet. We're just trying to get our bearings here. All right. So just chill out. Oh man. Anyway. So I said that, but did he delete his chats? Oh man. But I think I saw Master Gaming say that. All right. So now that we have our winners, though, I'm just going to write these out again. So Pope, Kairos, Peppa, and Hardwick, because that is our order. By the way, congratulations on a good game of bowling. For those that did not get there, I appreciate y'all, putting yourselves out there and getting those names in and getting those nominations in as well. All right, so here are those options once again. So now that we know who our winners are, here again are the options. And so whoever was the one with the email of Pope, go ahead and claim your prize. You have about a minute to make your decision. So again, 7 4K Steelbook, Days of Confused 4K Criterion, Rocky Balboa 4K Steelbook, Forbidden Kingdom 4K Steelbook, and then there was 2 copies of Constantine on 4K Steelbook. Master of Gaming, okay. I thought I saw him posting about himself. He was very confident going in, almost too confident going in. Modesty, young sir, modesty. It's a virtue. All right, so he has claimed Constantine. Very good. All right, now, who was the person with the email address Kairos? Because Kairos was the number 2 spot. Salt and pepper in your head, says King Rumsky. So who is Kairos and what is your decision? If we don't have a clear indication of who Kairos is, we will move to the next person. But obviously I will reach out to Kairos via email to let them know, hey, by the way, you were a winner, but you weren't there last night, so here are the leftover options that you have available. I think they're all still very good options, though. So anyway, I'm not seeing anything from anyone named Kairos, and so I'm about to skip Kairos to go on to the next one. So just be ready with your choice. All right. Going once. I know, seriously, Gary, I feel the same way. Those casuals, man. Those casuals. Though you were trying to pull that out earlier. You're like, oh, it's really late. Tell me if I've won. It's like, oh, you only want to be there if you've won something, huh? No, I appreciate you, Gary. Honestly, I almost made it into a top 5, but you were not top 5. So, oh man, I thought 4 was a very good number that still left options open just in case there was someone who was not here in the top spot. All right, Kairos. All right, so Kairos, we are skipping over. So that means number 3 goes to Peppa. So I thought I saw someone mention that they were the Peppa. The Peepaw, the Peppa. So go ahead and make yourself known and choose your prize. Boom, there he is, Jimmy A. I thought it was Jimmy A. Yeah, Jimmy A. All righty, and he wants the Rocky Balboa 4K Steelbook. You got it, dude. Rocky B. There it is. All right, and then that leaves us with the number 4 spot, who is Hardwick. I know Hardwick's hanging out tonight. So Hardwick, again, Constantine has been claimed. One of the Constantines has been claimed. Rocky Balboa has been claimed. Let's see. Icthulu says, if only you gifted Meg 2 4K Steelbook, I would have played. Oh, Icthulu. Yeah, I know that. I honestly, that's on me. I should have, excuse me. I should have put forward nominations or put forward the prize options beforehand. But yeah. Anyway, Hardwick claimed the second Constantine. Boom. It is done. It has been claimed. I just saw him post about that. So for the record, Jimmy A says, I don't even have a 4K player. I've only watched Creed 3, but a prize is a prize. Hey, man, there were other options, but I appreciate you choosing that one nonetheless. Just so you know, this one does have not only the 4K disc, but there's also a Blu-ray disc and a digital code on there as well. Okay? So just so you know. Now, for those that have won tonight, congratulations. Again, if you had the name, email address Kairos, I will email you after the stream is over, letting you know the other available options. That way you can absolutely still win a prize and I can ship it out to you. But if you are one of the winners tonight, if I've shipped to you before and the address is the same, I'll be able to find it and I'll be able to ship it out to you. Okay. If you've never won before, or if you think your address has changed potentially since the last time you got sent something, please reach out through email to me or Discord or Twitter/X and let me know what your new updated address is. Okay. So hopefully all of that makes sense. And let's go ahead and dive back into the chat. That was fun. So yeah, we would have done that. Normally, we would have done that at the end of the Raven Awards last week, but we had to switch it over to this week. Let's see. Wendy Hunter says, got you playing on my TV, such a bigger screen than my phone. Ooh, I'm on the big screen. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I look on a bigger screen. That might be scary for some. Forever Sci-Fi, I love this idea of them thinking that destroying their own business to get back at Trump supporters is a good thing. Yeah, it's kind of wild how our world is working. Victor Fontaine, LOL, it's always a party here on Rumble. Screw censor tube. Not always. I would say for the smaller channels that are more homegrown, it's not that crazy. If you were paid by Rumble to be on there, then goes up quite a bit. Interesting how that works. Kikin Rumsky, instead of a cough button, can you just play the puff math meme? If it wasn't as long as it is. But there should be good reason for us to bring that the puffs math back up. Cthulhu. So if only I didn't select Land of Bad for all the categories, I could have been a contender. I could have been a contender. Could have been somebody. Glad I was able to get those winners. Congratulations to the winners, says Orange Chat. Indeed, congrats to the winners. Congrats to all of those who won. And yeah, if you want to know what your score was, just reach out to me. Email, Twitter, Discord, wherever. I will happily share your score. I didn't want to share everyone's scores because I don't want anyone to feel like they're embarrassed if the score wasn't very high, or just because they don't want other people to know how they did. But I will happily send that to you if you reach out. Jimmy A was expected to be so accurate, honestly. Yeah, but I remember it was Hardwick as well. We're posting y'all's results throughout the night, and y'all were showing up very, very high. And yeah, I was honestly surprised that there was such small separation between those top spots. Literally just one extra wrong or one extra correct could have easily swapped it for many of those places. Kimberly G. Now I'm curious if I was 10 last out of the 13. Okay, again, reach out, let me know. KK Rumsky, thanks a lot. Now I have a Salt and Pepper song in my head. Take the mystery box, says Forever Sci-Fi. If only there was a mystery box option. Top 100 was a win, says Gary. Gary, you were in the top, I think, 5 or 6. Top 5 or 6. Actually, no, it would have been 6. Cthulhu, if only you gifted Meg 2 4K Steelbook, I would have played. Oh, man, let's see. Answered those. King and Ramsky, I 100% agree with Cthulhu. Of course you do, because you're obsessed with that movie. Abomination saying, I just found out from Metal Commander, a 2022 movie called Hundreds of Beavers, and it looks great. Have you seen that one? I've heard phenomenal things about it. I hear it's a lot of fun. Hardwick, from what I've heard, Bong Joon-ho has always made very political movies. I mentioned that on my box office breakdown yesterday. It's really not that surprising. I think the issue is more so because we're in a post-2024 election era, and this is a movie that was clearly made with a different result in mind for the 2024 election, and so now it just comes across as sour grapes / completely tone deaf. And so I think that's the extra issue here, is not that it's political, because he's always been political, right? Sometimes he's more overt, sometimes he's more, kind of under the radar, more covert. But the issue, I think, more so is how much he is referencing, apparently based off of what others have mentioned about the film, how much he connects it back to Trump and Trump supporters. And like the fact that you even have people like John Rocca, who's like going out being like, man, people are so upset because it's calling out the tyrant that Trump truly is. And I'm like, bro, if you think that Trump is a tyrant, where the hell have you been since COVID times? Because the only tyrants that I've seen in this country the last several years, I wouldn't even say it was Biden. I would say it was the governors of these states that shut people down in their homes and the business leaders that try to force their people to get vaccinated. But then again, any of those things that I just mentioned would probably also trigger you because you are an NPC who cannot really think very much at all. Geek364, I was pretty disappointed to hear all the negativity about AK-17. I had hoped for that one. Might give it another chance on streaming. Yeah, I mean, I obviously am, I want to be able to see it for myself, to be able to make up my own mind. It's not looking good, though. It's not looking good. Wendy Hunter says, I don't want to know my Ravens score, and that's okay. You do not have to know it. Hardwick says, bowling was a lot easier last year. Godzilla -1 being so great made many categories easier to predict. Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of people assumed that Deadpool Wolverine would kind of sweep with a lot of the categories, and in many ways it did. But there were also many others that really surprised, and really the Best Picture winner alone, right? Nosferatu kind of just came out of nowhere, and it was fun watching the final days because I was able to always see the percentages live, right? I was able to see the rankings and to see it eventually kind of just slightly edge itself further away with a lot of these people, right? Very clearly probably impacted by some of the nonsense that came out with Ryan Reynolds and with Blake Lively and that whole dramatic catastrophe. I think, impacted people's enjoyment of the movie, ranking of the movie, and sure enough, look what we got. Geek64 saying, if you ever do a mystery box, call it the Bad Robot Box. Absolutely. It wouldn't be appropriate to call it anything else. Let's be honest. Wendy Hunter says, I was also interested in Mickey 17, but glad to know not to waste my money. Thank you. I mean, yeah, me too. I'm very thankful for people like Gary, people like Critical Drinker, who were able to, kind of warn all of us about the insanity, right? To warn us about all of the insanity going on. All right. Let me go ahead and just get a couple of things set up real quick as we are about to embark upon a conversation of a monetary, of a monetary background, I guess you could say. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I don't even understand everything. Though part of me does sometimes wonder. Okay. I don't know what I'm rambling about here. Hold on. I already have it here. Look at that. Well, look at that. It's already there. That makes things so much easier. But what I'm trying to say is that, ultimately, we got to talk about a little bit of math, okay? And whenever we talk about math in the box office, we always got to remind people.
Time to see a real mathematician at work!
That's right. It's time for some math. Yeah, I was kind of breaking towards the end of that. I was trying to multitask, and my brain don't work so good when it tries to multitask like that. So let's go ahead and just drive straight into it. So this past weekend, Mickey 17 made a whopping $19 million. Now I say whopping very sarcastically because this movie cost $118 million to make. That's right, $118 million, meaning that the film is currently about $150 million in the red when you remember how much marketing typically is on movies like this, and also that studios do not get 100% of the box office receipts either. This is a very weak opening, and it's even worse when you keep in mind that the number 2 film this week is Captain America: Brave New World of only $8.3 million, which, though it might be edging out films like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania slowly but surely over time, it still trails that movie by 11%. So 11% behind where Quantumania was. That film was nearing $200 million domestic by the end of this weekend back in 2023. Brave New World barely at 176. So almost $25 million behind where that film was, where Quantumania was at that point. Even worse is that the film is 18+% behind where Quantumania was at the end of this weekend globally. So, yeah, I still amazed that there are people who at any point said that Brave New World had 1, a chance of breaking even, but 2, a chance of being this huge box office hit in any way. I'm sorry. The best argument you can make is that, hey, at least it's crushing against against the Marvels. Right, the Captain Marvel sequel. At least this film domestically is likely going to have it's going to end its run having made more than the entire global run of the Marvels. Right, the Marvels capped out around $199 million globally. This movie probably will get to closer to $199 domestically. The bigger issue, though, is that international numbers really aren't showing up for it all that well. That's why it's still tracking almost 20%. Behind where that film was. That film had been around $447 million by the end of this past weekend, whereas this movie is just about, $370 million? Yeah, $371 million by the end of its 4th weekend. So not good. Not good at all. Last Breath, 48% drop. This movie, again, on paper doesn't seem like it's doing terrible, but a $23 million amount means, this film is not doing much of anything and is not likely to make its money back. Monkey continuing to add to its profits. Paddington in Peru had a huge improvement, and in fact, I did want to bring this up because on Sunday, the charts had not updated yet, and so let me make sure I can get these. I didn't want to accidentally pull up a document as we were going through and then potentially have have some random thing show up that's like, oh, here's your autofill information and your address and all that stuff. It's like, no, thank you. No, thank you. All right, boom. That's what I was looking for. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back up. First, Alex McCarthy, thank you very much for continuing to be a member at the Citizen of Asgard level. Has been a member for 60 months in a row. 60 months, dude. Alex McCarthy is a legend. All right, but let's go to the charts. We love charts here on OMB Reviews. And so first, the updated numbers here. We now have some official numbers coming in from Box Office Mojo. 43.7 million is what they reported for Mickey 17's opening. That means $156 million in the red. Last Breath at 14.8 means $27 million in the red. The Monkey, $7 million in profits based off of a $45 million global take so far. Captain America Brave New World, $371 million means $277 million in losses. This film so far has made twice the amount for its opening weekend. It's not likely to do that much better than that, so not very good. Now, what is very cool to see and very surprising as well is Paddington in Peru. Paddington in Peru, as I mentioned in the box office video, added quite a bit internationally, especially. And so this film jumped from like 140-ish million that was being reported as of last weekend up all the way to 175. So this film is definitely on pace to being able to break $200 million worldwide. And even though the film's budget is definitely towards the higher end of this franchise, meaning it is still about $60 million in the red, it's looking a lot better every single week. Again, unfortunately, it's making a lot of that money internationally, where it gets a lot less return on investment. So right now, Paddington in Peru probably is not going to have enough gas to get to a point of being able to break even at the box office, but it's going to have made enough by the end of its run to justify it to say, you know, those other alternative revenue streams, whether it be VOD sales, whether it be, other contracts that they make with companies to have the film on streaming sites, wherever they have it, right? Obviously, these are things that could impact the bottom line, but theatrically, probably still not going to be enough, but definitely looking a lot better than what it was looking like for quite a long time. Let's see. Dogman, officially profitable, right? $1.2 million there. $2.1 million for Companion, also profitable. Presence, profitable at $1.7 million. One of them, Days, at $5.7 million profitable also. And I'm trying to see if there were some other ones. Oh, The Wolfman. Okay, so this is one that I actually get to mention. So I do have to give some shout outs here. I just got this thing in today. It's being distributed by Universal. Obviously, it is a Blumhouse production, but let's just see. What did I do? Okay, that's the reason why I struggle sometimes. But anyway, I just got to set this thing. It is indeed Wolfman. That's right, Wolfman on Blu-ray. This thing is going to be available for purchasing on Blu-ray next week. So on next Tuesday, the 18th. And they are releasing it in a variety of formats as well. So I have not seen the film yet to say anything about the movie itself or the quality, but I'm in the process of reviewing it, as I, again, always appreciate when, in this case, Universal sends out these types of things for me to look at. It says that it has a limited edition steelbook, 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD, all available for purchase on March 18th. So again, lots of stuff in there. You also got bonus content. This has 30 minutes of bonus features, at least on the Blu-ray edition, unleashing new monsters, designing Wolfman, hands-on horror, nightmares, and soundscapes. Feature commentary with director, co-writer Lee Wannell. So for those interested in that physical media release, it is available. Anyway, those were the box office numbers, though. Let's see what y'all got to say. Wendy, it wouldn't be OMB Reviews without charts. We love charts here. We love them. Kevin Jackman, time to say, what's your take on people blaming the black gentleman for accepting the role as Snape? I mean, honestly, I have not been following the story too closely. So has he actually accepted the role? The last I heard was that they were in the final stages of the deal, and nothing had been, officially confirmed as of yet. So Again, let me go ahead and see if I can find out whether there has been an update to this. Harry Potter must stay home. Near's deal, that was back in February. Let's see. What else should I be looking for here? Let me make sure also I didn't mess up anything there. Let's see. Snape casting. Oh my goodness. DuckDuckGo is just garbage. It's just garbage. Let's see. I don't want the MSN version of the article. Why? Oh my goodness. Oh my giddy aunt. So is this how I access that article? Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me know in the chat if you know of anything. The last I heard, though, was that it was just still being in discussion. Nothing had actually been confirmed yet. It is a matter of the reports that we're getting are suggesting that the contract is almost ready to be signed. So if he has not signed it yet, I don't know why people would be blaming him for accepting the role that has not actually formally been accepted in any way. Outside of that, if people were to blame him, it's like, look, I definitely do think that there's blame to go around. The higher blame would go towards the studio and the creators who are for some reason not taking advantage of the fact that they can make a book-accurate production. This is one of the biggest complaints that book fans had of the movies. Was even though they love the actors, even though they thought people, even like, even when you look to the original casting of Severus Snape, right, of Alan Rickman as Severus Snape, as much as we love him and as much as we think he made that character his own, people who love the book still say, I'm sorry, that's still just not what Snape is like. That's just, it's a good performance and he made it his own. And so it's something that people love and praise, but they separate it, right? They separate it out from the book. And so people really just want to have the book respected. They want to have the book portrayed in a way that it has not yet been portrayed to be. And they really wish and hope it could be. So I think that it's just a long way of trying to say that the bigger blame is to the studio executives and the creatives who are making this casting call, because that's their choice. But you can absolutely have some blame put on the actor because they are pursuing this role knowing what it means, knowing what exactly it's going to bring about. And I do think that it is incumbent upon both the creators and the actors involved to kind of read the room and to kind of say, maybe I shouldn't be the one to get this part. I shouldn't go for it. I should step back and try to go for something else instead, right? That's at least how I would say it. But the bigger problem and the actual responsibility and the actual, like, quote, guilt in any of this is with the creatives, not with him. Let's see. Alice McCarthy saying, howdy, Odin, how's it going? Been watching good movies for a change, like The Conversation, The French Connection, and World Tenenbaums. Absolutely. Great choices there. So shout out to you, good sir, for doing that. And also shout out and rest in peace to Gene Hackman. I need to watch some of his movies. An underrated comedy from him is The Birdcage. I mean, that's just what Rush Limbaugh said. So many great lines in that movie. Jimmy A. Kind of impressive how well One of Them Days did. Studio comedies haven't been profitable in a while, but it did better than expected, and people actually said it was funny. Yeah, I think that it came out at the right time. They were marketing it towards very certain, very specific demographics. Clearly did well with those demographics, but also, as you said, was funny enough to clearly bring enough other people in. And that's what you need. You need movies that can kind of cross the barriers, that can cross the audiences that you're going for. It wasn't the biggest moneymaker in the world, but yeah, it made much more than anyone could have expected it to. And ultimately, it made profit. So yeah, kudos to them. All profit before any physical media release, any VOD sales being accounted for, by the way. See, Geek364 saying, heard Wolfman was a mixed bag. Not as good as Invisible Man, but the Steelbook looks nice. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's funny because I've heard people criticize Invisible Man as well, right? Just not liking the more modern retellings of these classic stories. And I think those are legitimate criticisms, right? when we see the studios and we see these creatives trying to kind of twist and mold these things into their own vision, into their own image, we could say, it is always troubling, right? It is always troubling, and it is always sad because there are so many opportunities that are just left on the table for people to be able to do something really special with. If you put it into the hands of like Robert Eggers, for instance, that dude I think could probably do justice to the original Universal monsters. I really think that he could make more scary, more terrifying, but at least respectable versions of the movies themselves. Now, unfortunately, I think they'd be a bit too weird even for my taste because he is a bit of a weird dude, but I definitely think that there could be something there. Let's see. Rob D. Probably don't follow LEGO news too closely, but they're already forcing LEGO to sell the Captain America Red Hulk set for $54 for a 200-piece set. I don't really follow Legos that much, but I am assuming that is a very, very large markdown. Morak, don't forget, Paddington in Peru dodged a bullet, being able to drop Rachel Zegler because of the SAG strike. Ooh, that's a good point. Hose Atako, welcome. Cthulhu, who is a member, I want to see them lean into and have Black Snape teaching kids to cut meth and fentanyl in his chemistry class. Oh my goodness, Cthulhu. Wow. Your words, not mine. No, I think that the best criticisms that I've actually heard have been from Archaeopos, from Ryan, because he makes great points saying, look, you are now going to have to deal with the fact that you will have a character who is going to be bullied and is even going to be lynched in this flashback sequence. And it's going to bring a whole new dynamic to what's going on there. And it's going to bring up a whole new question about, Lily and James Potter and about those relationships. And honestly, it's not something I think that they are going to be able to handle. Whew. Excuse me. He auditioned for the role for a few months. Yeah, I mean, you're not up for a role unless you've auditioned for it. I don't know of many roles where it's just out of the blue, someone's like, hey, go ahead and get this random person that's never showed any interest in this whatsoever, and we want them for the part. So, yeah, he absolutely auditioned. Because even if they brought him in, in order to get the part, you have to audition at some point. Birdcage is an A+. Facts. Hardwick, have you ever seen Sam Raimi's The Quick and the Dead? Gene Hackman has great as the villain in it. Also Sharon Stone, Russell Crowe, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Interesting. I have not actually seen that. When Harrison, yes, Papa Esu for Professor Snape. Pepa Isu again, but I don't think he's been officially confirmed. Wendy Hunter saying he was officially cast. Interesting. Carl Jacobs, The Birdcage is my example of a good, funny movie made to service a reprehensible message. Yeah, absolutely. McCarthy saying, I have the other 2024 werewolf movie, Werewolves, starring Frank Grillo. Haven't watched it yet. That was another one I heard mixed things. Howard, just give Rachel Zegler a few years and Ryan Kendall will be cheerleading her redemption arc. Probably. We'll start to wrap things up here, actually, guys. Just that way I can get some rest on my voice. It's a little bit earlier than usual. But voice is starting to get a little bit tired. I need to get some tea. Also need to be able to get my inhaler as well. Abomination. Whatever happens with the Harry Potter show, the one thing we can almost guarantee is that they will respond to legitimate criticism with "you're racist." Yep, they can play that race card now. Maybe that's why they decided to choose it. Let's see. Wendy Hunter saying, Odin, I'm not going to watch the remake of Harry Potter. Will ruin it for me, I think. It depends on their casting. I mean, it really just depends on what their casting ends up being. Let me try and use a search engine that's not complete and utter garbage, like DuckDuckGo seems to have been. So let's see. Snape. Casting. Harry Potter fans outraged over inappropriate Severus Snape. Angry Harry Potter fans. Reddit claims he's been officially cast. Yeah, here's the issue, though. Okay, so the original Deadline article, okay, all that it says is that they are very close. Yeah, it says it's closing in on 2 or more main cast members. He's closing his deal to portray I Hear. That was the last word we heard. Deadline had the exclusive, and that was the last that we heard. People ran with that and then said he's been confirmed, he's been confirmed. So unless there's been a follow-up article, I actually don't think he has been confirmed yet. Let's see. Geek Truth. 1 second. Sorry. Let's see. Geek Truth saying here, for this HBO Potter series to allegedly be closer to the books, everything being put out seems to say the opposite. Yeah, seriously, it definitely seems that way. Doesn't seem like they're living up to kind of the mindset that people thought about it going in. Sahil99, hello, today's date is 3/10. Yes, it is. Caveat ties, Roger Zeggo will play AOC in a biopic. Dude, to be honest, that would be perfect casting. Hardwick, when I watched Death Machine 1994 a little over a week ago, I was shocked to see Rachel Weisz. It turns out it was her first movie. She was in it for 15 seconds. Oh, dang. Wow. That's interesting. All right, we're going to wrap it up there, guys. Thank y'all very much for watching tonight and for commenting. For those that won, please just, again, reach out to me if your address has changed or if you just want to confirm your shipping address. Again, if you have won prizes before, I should be able to find previous emails and stuff so that way I can get those movies to y'all. Again, congratulations, and thank y'all for participating in the Ravens Bowling. And again, y'all are awesome. So seriously, thank y'all so very much. If you were one of the winners, so whoever had the email address Kairos, I will be emailing you sometime tonight or tomorrow just to reach out and let you know what movies are still available. Of course, you can reach out if you would rather do that too. But either way, I will be sending an email unless I get one from you first. So be on the lookout for that. So that way you can have your options, that the rest of the options available. Still some very good movies available for winning. So thank you all very much again for being here. Shout out to Alex Picard for being a member here on the channel. And let's get some final comments. Geek364, I feel your pain. My cough from MegaCon still hasn't gone away. Dang. Yeah, mine popped up last weekend. Just a whole heap of problems and issues. This, I think, started off as maybe a slight symptom, and now it's just kind of become its own thing. Wendy, the article I saw from 2 days ago, sorry if I gave wrong. No, not at all, Wendy. It's important. I'm happy you did. It's important to get the correct information out there. So, yeah, don't be sorry at all, because I bet a lot of people are still running with that fake story. Jimmy A, good night and God bless. God bless you. Good night. Kimberly G, Wendy Hunter. Feel better. Thanks for the great stream. Have a great night, everyone. Hey, thank you for being here. Caveat Ties, have a good night. Forever Sci-Fi, have a good night. Kevin Jackman, have a good night. Thank you. Alice McCarthy, Punk Rollins Steel Cage match tonight. Oh, dang, you're right. And then Cthulhu, thank you for a great show. Wish you a blessed week. You too, Cthulhu. Thank you all again for being here. Smash that like button, lap that fire button. Honestly, smash the rumble button as well. You guys are seriously awesome. I'm new to the bowling thing. Where do I reach out to you, Jimmy A? I thought you maybe have won a prize before, Jimmy A. Have you won a prize before? Have I sent you a movie before or a rosary before? I feel like I have. But if not, if you just email ombreviews@proton.me. ombreviews@proton.me. So ombreviews@proton.me. And yeah, if you just want to make sure, you can just email me and we'll take care of that. Anyway, you guys are wonderful, amazing, and beautiful people. I promise I will get the March shout-outs video updated as soon as I can. But, you know, life is how it is sometimes. So thank you all again for always understanding and for being awesome, amazing people. Leave a comment below if you're watching this after the fact. I hope you all have a blessed season of Lent. We are in the season of Lent, everybody. So I hope that you have made some good sacrifices and are doing some really cool things to try to improve your spiritual life, to improve yourselves especially. And I hope that you all have a wonderful evening, a blessed rest of your week. And as always, God bless. now for a huge special shout out to all of my Chosen of Valhalla members, starting off first with my people on Patreon, Father Luca Illick and Miss Modern Muses. Check out her YouTube channel by the same name, Miss Modern Muses. Also to my Subscribe Star people, Matt317. Check out his Twitch channel by the same name, Matt317. And lastly to my YouTube member, Mr. Roy. Shout out to you, good sir. And if you want your name shouted out at the end of every live stream and video, check out the top link in the video description below where you get access to that. Also, you get access to a plethora of other things. You get your name listed at the end of every live stream and video, like you saw in those names that came up before this video started. And also access to a giveaways channel that I host over on the Discord server where I give away 4Ks, Steelbooks, Blu-rays, all kinds of stuff. So check that out if you're interested in that. Also, I have an exclusive podcast that I hold at least once a month, and it's always a good time, and you get extra bonus content with that also. So if any of that sounds interesting, again, check out that top link in the video description below. You guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, God bless.